This recording is going to be about a couple of different things. The first thing is some interesting things you can do to master pages. And the second thing I'm going to talk about is setting up text variables, because both of these things are going to happen on this double page spread. Okay, right now this double page spread is set to a master that I created based on our, normal header template. I actually moved the page number up to the top of the pages and left aligned the header. And you can do that. Page numbers don't have to go on the bottom, but you will notice that on the chapter title pages, I actually have the page numbers at the bottom still. And that is just a pet peeve of mine when I have a book that has a table of contents and I'll look in the table of contents and say, oh, what page is the introduction on? It's on page 1. It really irks me when that page number is not on that page. But if you're not like me, you can actually leave that page number off, or you may not include a table of contents, so it really doesn't matter. But I do like to include the page number at the bottom of the page for chapter title pages if I push the page number to the top on the headers. Okay, so that's just a little note. Now, what I'm doing, this is just a sample that I'm creating, a concept I'm creating for this particular client. And you will notice that I only have the page number here, which kind of looks a little odd. And in some cases, you can actually classify these as chapter title pages, which should never have the header up at the top. But these are a little different. These really aren't chapter title pages. So I am going to keep the headers on these particular pages because that's what most of this book is about. So, with that being said, I'm hoping they don't choose this because it still annoys me to have those chapter headings up there. And I may just mention when I send them the concepts that, I included this because they actually had them in the one they sent me. So this is the Word document that they sent me, and they actually had them there. So I'm only keeping them there just so they know. And all right, so what I want to do is I think I want to make this invocation a little special. It's going to be at the bottom of every page. And I think that I want to make a little, we're going to box it. So I'm going to put a little rule, a 1-point rule around the outside. And I may decide, let's see, we're just kind of playing around here. I'm going to round the corners a little bit. And instead of black, we are going to take the tint to be around, let's do 40%. Okay. Actually, 40% did not take the first time. All right, so that turns that line to be black. All right, now I think that we're just playing around here aesthetically to see how things look. I think I'm going to bring this over because we have this graphic here. And I think I want to push it in a little bit so the text doesn't get away from the graphic. So yeah, I think that's a good position. And then this invocation, one of the problems is that they're all different lengths. The longest one I think I saw a 3-liner. So we want to kind of make them look uniform. So what I'm going to do is we might make it the same width as this, and I actually may take the line off. And let's see what it looks like with like a 15% light fill. Okay, so we might try something like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring it down some Don't know if I like that. Bring it up more. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is actually center the text within the box. Okay, so we can actually do that by going text frame options, center. Now I'm really not liking how this looks, so I may take the grayscale out and just keep it like that. I think that will work. And I may, instead of centering it in the box, I may just tell it to do the top. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll go with that. And we don't need the rounded corners now, so I'll take that off. And we're still centered. And we may just tell it, instead of centering this, we may just tell it to left align, just to keep everything left align. All right, so there we go. All right, I think I like this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, hold on, let's forget what I just said. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the master page for this. I'm actually just going to copy these two boxes. I'm going to go to that I master page. Okay, so I day header master page. Okay, so right now this is our text frame. Okay, and I'm just actually going to edit, edit, paste in place that copied text frame, and then I'm just going to draw out some guides so I know where I had those boxes. Okay, so now we can delete those out, okay, because we don't want that text on our master. So now that I have my guides and I know approximately where I want those boxes to be on each master page, we can change the shape of our text frame. And so this is going to be text frame A. And then we're actually going to click on this little thing right here and draw another text box that we're going to put here. All right, so now we have two text frames on the page. So we need this to reflect on the opposite page as well. But to do that, I'm just going to draw a little guide box. This is my little cheating method. I'm going to drag this over, and we know we want the end of the text frame to be there. Okay, so I'm going to draw the text frame box to that line, and then we're going to bring it up to this line, and then we're going to add another text frame down to the bottom, just like we had on the other side. So now you're like, okay, what's the point of that? All right, so let's go back to our pages. All right, so we have it right here, but I don't really, it's not set to the master page anymore, so I'm actually going to redefine it, and it's going to bring that invocation up because it still fits. However, what we can do to make this invocation automatically go down to that second text frame is we can tell InDesign to set this header, which is a heading 2. Let me redefine it real quick. This is the only place I have heading 2 are on these pages right here. So we are going to tell InDesign to, let me find it. You always have to forget when there's so many things. Keep options, duh. All right, so on the keep options, it says start paragraph anywhere. Well, we want this paragraph to start on the next frame. Okay, so that's a new text frame. So when we select new frame, it automatically pushes that invocation down to the next text frame on the page. Now you might say, well, why didn't it do that for day 2? Well, we actually need to reapply the master page for day 2. And why didn't it do it? Ah, there it goes. Okay. All right, so we just need to redefine this style here. Redefine style. And there we go. And I'm going to keep the alternating days So day 2 is going to be pushed up against this side, and day 1 is pushed up against that side. Okay, so now what I need to do is I actually changed the titles for these. So I'm just going to go in and change those so you can see this in action. So now I am going to reapply the master pages on these pages, so it will take account that moving around of the text frames. Okay. All right, so why didn't it do that on that? We just need to check to make sure we have heading 2, heading 2. All right, so let's look, let's investigate. Why didn't it automatically bring in that other text frame and put invocation down at the bottom? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I just must have not applied the master page properly. All right, so there we go. So that's how you can use multiple text frames on a page when you want some sort of text to fall in a certain area on the page. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at are these header pages on these headers. Okay, so since I created a new master and I want to have these day 2 to be as part of the header up here, we need to create a new text variable because we include text variables up here so we don't have to retype them every time. So to create a new text variable, we're going to go to Type, Text Variables, Define. All right, and we're going to define a new one. And text variables can be defined based on any paragraph style. So we're going to call this day, and we are going to say use the day title paragraph style. All right, so what InDesign does is it looks for the closest day paragraph style, which will be day 2 for this page, and it will insert the text variable up here when we add it to the master page. So let's click on the master page, and we already have the page number in, so all we need to do is add that text variable. So we're going to go to Type, Text Variable, Insert Text Variable, Insert Day. And now when we go to that page, you'll start seeing that it says day 4, and then the next one will say day 5. And that's all you need to do. I hope this video was very helpful for you.